Have you ever wondered what separates those who achieve greatness from those who merely exist? The answer lies not in their circumstances, but in their choices. Every moment you delay, someone else races ahead toward their Creator. Every hour you waste in comfort, another soul sacrifices sleep to stand before their Lord. This is the reality of our existence, and today's message will transform how you view every remaining day of your life. In this life, there is no time for laziness and rest. As the great scholar al-Qayyim said, "Whoever seeks rest must abandon rest." When you become sluggish and sit idle in your place, others among the righteous servants of Allah race toward Him. Each person will find what they prepared for the day of judgment. On that day, you will wish you had been among those who hasten to do good deeds, but it will be too late. This matter cannot tolerate delay or procrastination, because what we seek is precious. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said that whoever fears will travel by night, and whoever travels by night will reach their destination. Indeed, Allah's merchandise is valuable. Indeed, Allah's merchandise is paradise. Paradise requires from you effort and exertion. None of you will enter paradise by their deeds alone. When asked if this applied even to him, the Prophet replied that it applied to him as well, unless Allah covers him with His grace and mercy. However, the ranks in paradise are determined by deeds and hastening toward Allah. Consider the profound teaching found in the story of Sahal ibn Sa'd. A drink was brought to the Prophet, and he drank from it. There was a young boy on his right and elderly men on his left. The Prophet asked the boy whether he would permit him to give the drink to the elderly first. The boy replied that he would not prefer anyone over himself to receive his share from the Prophet. So the Prophet placed the cup in the boy's hand. This incident contains tremendous educational wisdom. By asking the young boy's permission, the Prophet gave him significance and worth, teaching him that he is not insignificant. He taught him manhood and dignity in sitting with elders. When he asked permission, he taught him that the practice is to begin with the person on the right, and that he wanted to begin with him. But out of respect for the elders on his left, he sought permission to serve them first. This is how we should instill practices in our children's hearts, training them to attend gatherings with adults and observe their demeanor, character, and manners. Notice the understanding of Ibn Abbas, even as a child. The Prophet had prayed for him, asking Allah to grant him understanding and teach him interpretation. The boy said that he would not prefer anyone over himself to drink from what the Prophet had drunk. He respected the elders, no doubt, but the Prophet had just drunk from this cup, and the companions would compete for the Prophet's traces because they contained blessings. He wanted to drink right after the Prophet to obtain the blessing of his traces, so the Prophet placed it in his hand. Now consider the remarkable story of Prophet Ayyub that demonstrates our constant need for divine blessings. Allah tested Ayyub with severe affliction. No part of his body remained sound, except his heart and tongue. Allah responded to him and relieved him of his affliction, returning his family to him and doubling them as a mercy and reminder for worshippers. While Ayyub was bathing in privacy, golden locusts fell upon him. He began gathering them in his garment. His Lord called to him, asking whether he had not enriched him beyond what he saw. Reflect on Ayyub's beautiful response. He replied that indeed Allah had enriched him by His might, but he could never dispense with Allah's blessings. This shows that when Allah grants a servant lawful wealth unexpectedly, he should not say he has enough. As long as this provision is from Allah's favor and an increase in blessing, the principle is that one should accept it. Who can be independent of Allah's blessings and favor? A servant should always display their need for Allah, even if they have what suffices them. As long as this is provision from Allah, show your need for Him. Do not become independent of Allah's blessings, whether in material or spiritual matters. When Allah brings you provision unexpectedly, say, "This is a blessing from Allah, all praise is due to Him." When Allah brings you knowledge or guidance, show your need for it, and here the need is even greater because Allah wants good for you. We have no independence from Allah's blessings during seasons of goodness. These blessed months we are in now are sacred months, so do not wrong yourselves during them. Expose yourself to divine gifts by increasing fasting, remembrance of Allah, and good deeds in general. When the 10 days of Dhul Hijjah come, strive during them, for they are the most beloved days to Allah. When Ramadan comes, especially its last 10 nights and the night of decree, when the last third of every night comes, and those who stand in night prayer say by their condition that they have no independence from Allah's blessings, because He draws near to His servants and descends to the lowest heaven in a manner befitting His Majesty, saying, "Is there anyone calling upon me so I may answer? Is there anyone asking of me so I may give? Is there anyone seeking forgiveness so I may forgive?" When you stand in your prayer and turn to Allah with your heart, your state says you have no independence from Allah's blessings. When you reflect on the reality of your conditions, you find Allah's blessings descending upon us in every state. When you remember Allah, He remembers you in Himself. This is the greatest blessing. The servant should always expose themselves to divine gifts and show their need for Allah. We ask Allah for His favor, blessings and well-being. We ask Allah to forgive us, our parents, and all Muslim men and women, the living and the dead. We ask Allah to forgive our oppressed brothers everywhere and grant them victory over their enemies. We ask Him to protect them in their women, children, elders, and youth. All praise is due to Allah, Lord of the worlds, and may Allah's peace and blessings be upon our Prophet Muhammad, his family, and all his companions.